Vintage remains hot in watches, as the very stylish Tissot Heritage 1938 chronometer clearly showcases. Delving into one's archives to find inspiration for new models is common practice in the world of watchmaking. It's been done for years and is very likely to remain a go-to strategy for years to come. And while simply regurgitating past designs might be boring to some, it can be extremely satisfying when done right. In recent years, Tissot has been quite successful in capturing the essence of historic watches and give them a modern makeover. Just think of the immensely popular PRX or the colourful Sideral, for instance, which they released in recent years. A little over a year ago, Tissot also released the rather handsome Telemeter 1938, and now the brand introduces smaller and simpler versions, expanding the 1938 line into a full collection. Available in 3 distinct styles with either a time-only or time and date configuration, we're going to take a look at the 2 Central Seconds models specifically. The style is typical to the pre-World War II era of watchmaking, which remains popular even to this day. Plenty of watches look at the 1930s and 1940s for inspiration, and so do these. And there's even a hint of Calatrava to both of them, which is very lovely. The cases are nice and compact at 39mm in diameter and 11mm in height. Although they're fairly simple, the finishing is nice as well. The bezel and caseback are polished, while the side of the case and the lugs are brushed. The onion-style crown has a slim knurled profile and a vintage Tissot T logo on top of it. A modern sapphire crystal protects both the dial and the movement. 2 dials are available in this time-only configuration. One has a matte salmon color, while the other has a slate grey tone, even though Tissot mentions it as black. Typical to the 1930s style of design, it looks fairly simple but has some rather interesting details. The fine minute track, for instance, or the raised indices and the vintage Tissot logo radiate that beloved retro flair. The dial is also signed Chronometer, hinting at what is ticking away below it. The indices and hands are of simple design too, but this is where the watches go in opposite directions. The slate grey dial has beige-colored numerals and hands for a lovely gilt look. The matte salmon dial, however, has these details printed in black, along with the logo and the mention of chronometer. In this case, the top surface of the hands and numerals are blackened and provide a very strong contrast. And whether it's intentional or not, the exposed sides of the hands reveal a subtle hint of gold. That's why the matte salmon dial takes the win for me. One would expect the Powermatic 80 to once again make an appearance, but not this time. Instead, Tissot opted to use the ETA 2824 automatic. Although this lacks the 80-hour power reserve and only provides 38 hours of autonomy, it is regulated within chronometer specifications. The somewhat traditional construction also fits well within the retro design of the watch, so the choice makes at least some sense. The finishing is basic, but the gold-colored rotor does give it some pop. The Tissot Heritage 1938 chronometer comes on a very supple grey or brown leather strap fitted with a stainless steel pin buckle. And conforming to Tissot standards, the price is extremely sensible at just €875. The small seconds version comes on a Milanese bracelet and retails for €1,025. And while we all lust after the fascinating complexity of a perpetual calendar, a split seconds chronograph or even a tourbillon, it's these type of dead honest watches that are the hardest to nail. It's incredibly challenging to balance the design of a time-only watch without putting in too many frills and details. And let's be honest, Tissot once again has done an excellent job in creating great entry-level mechanical watches with tons of charm. What do you make of the Tissot Heritage 1938 chronometer collection? And which one would you buy? Let us know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next video.